Hey everyone, so I'm back again with another video. This time around I have some retro video game pickups to share with you guys. But all I've got to show you guys are some PS1 games and some NES games. So only games for those two systems. Now if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, especially indoors, I just felt like it because my hair is a mess right now and I thought it'd be easier to just put a hat on. Now, I went to this store called Buy and Sell Kings. It's here in the city of Toronto, um, somewhat in the East End. I go there every so often just because they have some games priced very cheaply, and other games are just crazy overpriced, but it's pretty much the same mixed bag that you'll get at most stores. Um, Now, the reason why I went there is because I knew that they had a couple of cheap NES games and a couple of cheap PS1 games. They put up ads on Kijiji of stuff that they get in, so every so often you sort of get a general idea of what they have in their store. So I thought, you know what, I'll go and take a look around. Now, they have a whole bunch of PS1 games that are sold as is, so in whatever the condition is, they're just $2.99. Some are $2, but some are $2.99. And I was able to get these for $2 each, except for the very first game I'm going to show you guys, which was actually in a bin of stuff marked for 25 cents each. It's a copy of Crash Team Racing. Um, and I played it, and it worked just fine, even though it's pretty scratched up. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's very much so scratched up, but it works just fine. In my experience, PS1 games have worked fairly well. There have only been one or two instances where PS1 games didn't work, being scratched as bad as this is, but almost every single time they have worked just fine, even being scratched this bad. But yeah, that was Crash Team Racing. I don't actually have this game yet, so to find it for 25 cents in at least working condition is perfectly acceptable. The next two games that I want to show you guys, I actually sort of had these already. The first game is Namco Museum Volume 1, and the story behind this is that I had found the disc only in mint condition at a Goodwill, and I had it tossed in the case of another game, and that other game that I was in, well, the case that it was in was for Austin Powers Pinball. So basically, these two games were connected in a sense, for me at least, and now I was able to complete both of them. Uh, this one here, the disc isn't that great, but it still plays just fine. And let me just show you guys it. There it is. And for Namco Museum Volume 1, choose to believe me or not, I put in my disc that was in perfect condition into the case there. And the disc that was in here, I gave it to my sister because she's looking for some PS1 games, some PS1 and PS2 games that are simple enough and easy for her to play. So now I have complete copies of both of those. The next three games that I got, well, this one here is the only one that's 100% complete. It's Tomb Raider 3 Adventures of Lara Croft. And the disc on that one was like scratched, but not too bad, and it played just fine, so I don't see there being any issues with that one. The next game, when I saw the side of it, I saw that it said Spyro the Dragon, and it was the greatest hits version, and the background of it is for Spyro the Dragon. But when I pulled it out of the stack, I see the manual for Tekken 2, and inside is the disc for Tekken 2. And I played it, and it plays just fine. So, I mean, $2 isn't that bad. And the last PS1 game that I wanted to show you guys here actually isn't even a complete game. It's just a single disc, disc 2 in fact, of this game. But it's the least scratched out of all of these. Don't get me wrong, it's still like slightly scratched, and there's a little bit of swirling, but definitely nowhere near as bad as those games that I showed you guys already. Well, except for that Namco one. That Namco one was perfect. It's Star Ocean: The Second Story, and it's only disc 2. I looked through the stacks hoping to find disc 1, but they only had disc 2. And for whatever reason, I decided $2 was fair enough price to spend on that there. Now, the next few games that I got here, I got them from the same store. They're all NES games, and they were all $2.99 each. And the interesting thing about this store is that they have multiple copies of certain games, but they also have multiple price points. It seems that some of their games are on consignment and they're looking for specific prices. Other copies are priced higher or lower depending on condition, and they're also priced higher or lower depending on when they came into the store. So I found that there are some games that are in worse condition, but have older dates on the price tags and are priced higher than ones that have come in more recently and are in better condition. So I was able to get these ones for $2.99 each. They came in near the end of August, so a little while now, but they've been sitting there since the end of August, and one of these was actually there since the end of July, and it's got a little bit of label damage, but it's not too bad. The first game here is Mission Impossible, and I mean, this one here is in perfect condition. Just the sticker there, obviously, on the front of it, but that can come off very easily. They're very easy stickers to remove, and I really appreciate that they are, especially that they're putting them on video games. You'd hope that the stickers are easy to take off, and thankfully they are. The next game is Solar Jetman, Hunt for the Golden Warship. And the last game is Star Voyager, and this one actually came with a official Nintendo sleeve that for whatever reason says, if you can see that, it says Crump on it, and it also came with the manual for the game as well. But it does have a little bit of label damage, and hopefully I can even that out a little bit, but it's just sort of lifted up on the corner there. But $2.99 each on those wasn't too bad, and to add more NES games to my collection, $2.99 is definitely not a bad price. So I was able to get 3 more NES games and a handful of PS1 games in various conditions. But to get anything, especially all this stuff, for a total of $20, because, well, it was 22 and some change, but let's just say $20. To get all this stuff for $20, and sorry, I lost my train of thought there, but I thought $20 was definitely a decent enough price for this stuff, considering that at most retro game stores, stores that specifically deal in retro games, because they do sell other stuff at this store as well. To get NES games for less than $3 that aren't sports games, or I should say, well, under $5 that aren't sports games, because they're $3 exactly. But yeah, I mean, at other stores they charge over $5 for even just sports games, and that's just obscene in my mind. So the fact that they have games listed at $2.99 $3.99, $4.99, and well, up from that, of course, that aren't sports games. That's definitely one of the places in Toronto to hit up if you're looking for just generic titles to fill in your collection. Anyways, this video is over 10 minutes now. That's what I got there. As always, leave comments in the comment section below. Anything you'd like to say, comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, anything at all, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Check out my Facebook, Twitter, and website. They're all linked in the description below. And that's it. See ya.